Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Matt.
I'm Sam. Dead
Well,
air right away. Wow.
Wow.
Incredible.
This is what are made for. I
This
was
is why
trying to
we have
think of
no
like, how
sponsors.
do we jump into this? This is why we need sponsors. So
Oh, yeah,
give us a
yeah.
little something to talk about in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
We got, I guess, a few things to talk about before we get into the movie, but not. Well, I don't want to talk. I don't want to spend too much time on it. Anything happened this past week as far as movies or anything like that? Star Wars and World of Warcraft are coming to Dungeons and Dragons.
Star Wars is?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear that. I heard about World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So that's interesting.
Cool.
I'm both nervous and excited. So
I
we
know.
shall see what happens.
Time for you to go back.
Yeah, so last week was Gen Con, the big TTRPG
Oh, yeah, yeah.
convention. I'll go to one day.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think this weekend is the Star Trek convention in Vegas.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I saw
I
some
think it's
people
this week.
posting about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay.
um, yeah.
Hopefully we hear some news from them, what's going on. Not just everything's canceled.
That's interesting too. Like, I don't really know if the Star Trek convention is really known for dropping stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
They've been pretty busy at Comic Cons.
Mm,
Ever since they came back with Discovery, like it's been a Comic Con type of franchise.
yeah.
Um, so there might be some smaller things or something, but yeah, I'm nervous for Star Trek right now.
Yeah,
It's
same.
like it's on its way out. So for now,
Yeah. Hibernation, I think it's
yeah,
fine. Well, like it sucks, but it'll come back.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Other than that, you see any good movies recently?
Yeah. I saw Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the Odyssey.
Well, let's talk Odyssey first, because you saw that one first. What were
Yeah,
your thoughts
yeah.
on the Odyssey?
Uh Here's the thing. I am not immune to propaganda. When people say that you should go see something in the theater, I'm like, yeah, sure, all right. But truly, I do think that like the theatrical experience enhances a lot of movies, and I think
Mm-hmm.
enhances the experience of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Odyssey is a perfect clear cut case of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I enjoyed it. I had issues with it while I was watching it, but on the whole, when I stepped out of the theater, I was like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. I had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It's when, I get home and then like a couple of days after where I'm still thinking about it and I'm just like I'm remembering stuff about the Odyssey or I'm reading up about like the story itself and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, why didn't they include that? That's
Mm-hmm.
weird that that's not there. Oh yeah, like there's this whole so it's this very interesting thing where it's like it is a modern adaptation, you know,
Sure.
and I'm like, cool. That's great. I'm glad if for nothing else it brought the Odyssey back into, the cultural consciousness at large.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it is this thing where it's like the second it was announced that he was going to direct it, I'm like, oh, so we're going to lose all the like mystical elements, all of the
Mm-hmm.
otherworldly stuff. And we kind of did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so strange to me because the gods and the monsters, and all of that, like they're so tied into the story of the Odyssey and of
Mm-hmm.
Odysseus that when you remove them or dull their effect on the story, it's like, well, why are you telling the story?
Mm-hmm.
You can take all that away and say that, like, well, it's just a story about a complicated man trying to make his way home. It's specifically because he's arrogant and is defying, the gods is why he's
Yeah.
being punished. Like, he's being punished, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, it feels like Nolan is still working within, like, the Oppenheimer, mindset of, one man had a great idea and it destroyed the world, and we've been
Mm,
paying for that sin ever since. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure, that's one
yeah.
reading that you could do, and I think that's effective in the movie, especially
Mm,
with like how Nolan like reveals it, plays with time. But yeah, so it is just a very sanitized version of the Odyssey.
yeah.
I think overall it's a fine movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's kind of what I've been hearing. I still haven't seen it yet, but everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people are saying like great movie, bad adaptation. I was
Hmm.
like, all right, well, okay.
Hmm.
So I'll have to check it out before I can really give my 2 cents. Did you see it on the 70 millimeter?
Uh, maybe.
Hmm.
I don't like.
It was
I don't.
IMAX,
Yeah,
but you
it
don't
was
know.
IMAX, but I don't know if we had that specifically.
Mm.
I think we did actually. So,
Hmm.
because yeah, it looked great. It was a big screen. I certainly paid for it, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
better have watched it in 70 millimeter. But yeah.
Damn. Cool. On to the next movie.
Hmm. Yeah. Now let's get into real movies.
Let's get into cinema here.
I'm kidding.
What
I'm
were your
just
thoughts on
kidding.
Spider-Man?
I loved it, dude. I
Hmm.
really did. I don't know. There's just something about Spidey back in New York. I'm just like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I'm kind of like I loved it, and I knew
Hmm.
it was a great movie, but I'm kind of surprised by how many other people loved it as well. And like there's a kind of consensus going around the internet right now that it might even be better than Spider-Man 2 from Sam
Mm.
Raimi.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, that movie is like for everyone like the best comic book movie of all time, for so many people."
Yeah.
So I was kind of shocked to hear that, but I was like, "Damn, I don't know about that. For me, yeah, I prefer this one, but
Hmm.
I'm just glad. Okay, I don't want to get into spoilers because one, Dad hasn't
Sure.
seen it,
Sure.
and two, this when this episode comes out, the movie will still be like fairly new.
Still pretty new, yeah.
But it's good. He feels like the Spidey we got in the comics and the Spidey
Yeah.
we had in the cartoons. It feels like Spider-Man. The first three we talked about it on the podcast before is very much Peter has help, Peter has a mentor,
Hmm.
he's never on his own, and that's kind of part of Spider-Man's identity, you
Hmm.
know. He's very much like this movie. He thinks he needs to do it alone. That might not be the truth, but that's what he thinks. And I think
Yeah.
that's a fundamental part of a large part of the Spider-Man mythos, because then of
Yeah.
course as time goes by, you know, MJ finds out and then they get married and all this stuff. Aunt May finds out at some point, so all of that. But yeah, this was really cool to see this, and Tom Holland was in an interview saying that his Spider-Man he never got to explore his powers
Hmm.
because we meet him in Civil War and he already knows how to use them. And then kind of like what I was just saying, he's never really been on his own, and now he has all this tech, you know,
Hmm.
and it was so he was really the one pushing for a lot of like, it's not a spoiler, you see it in the trailer. He's evolving.
Hmm.
So Tom Holland was the one pushing for a lot of that stuff. He's like, because the movie's about change, and I wanted to literally see him change and go through that, having to learn how to use his powers and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's rad. I like that.
Yeah.
So the guy knows the character, you know?
Who do you trust, more than the guy who's been this character, across, 5, 6 movies already,
He's been Spidey more than anyone else has been Spidey.
Yeah, yeah. At least live action wise.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Well, years too, because when was Civil War?
Oh, oh, yeah. I guess that's a good point because I was thinking like voice actors, but yeah, no, I guess
Mhm.
like, yeah, I guess you're right.
Unless someone knows otherwise, but I think he's the longest running Spider-Man.
Yeah, he might be. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I sent Sam a Instagram post today about the typography of the new Spider-Man movie of the
Oh yeah,
titles.
yeah, yeah.
It was so fascinating. Just a friend of mine had posted it on her reels, and it was so fascinating comparing the first three MCU movies to this one and how similar they were and how they changed it and how part of it is because he's older now, but also he has less tech. You know, he's
Hmm.
even the logo, it's more red and blue because it's more like his homemade costume. I was like, "Oh, dude, that's cool." So, and also I was hearing people talking about the costume, which I did notice was different and it looks great, but I
Hmm.
didn't realize how much CGI the costume was in the previous movies.
Dude, yeah.
They
It
said
like,
they said they had the costume on set, but they still like CGI'd over it. I'm like, dude, waste the money. Like,
hmm.
I don't know how like adaptable that suit was, you know. So I understand using CG for action scenes and stuff, but like, it's not like I can see the argument for Iron Man being all CGI because otherwise he would
Sure.
literally just be a statue the whole movie, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But Spidey, it's literally spandex, guys.
It's like don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Like
Mm-hmm.
why
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean like I also feel like it's kind of indicative of how the first three movies were made versus how this one was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it's like there's yeah, there's a lot of crossover, there's a lot of stuff. It's like I feel like also maybe like the vision wasn't fully there for, or it wasn't as like clear cut across those
Mm-hmm.
three movies, you know. So a lot of it probably did have to be fixed in post, or we're making the movie for the reshoot, you know, like we have a script or we have a story, you know, but then
Mm-hmm.
somewhere along the way, like they're already planning, like somebody's probably going to say no to this or something's probably going to change. So we should, you know, film, you know, for
Well,
the reshoot.
I have a theory because, you know, we've talked about it's pretty much known at this point how almost all the MCU movies are made by committee. You know,
Hmm.
you have to get so many people to sign off on something before you do anything in these movies. Every now and then you get like Sam Raimi in to do Doctor Strange, but
Hmm.
even then, I feel like just the little bit of Sam Raimi I've seen, it kind of feels like a watered down Sam Raimi, you
Oh
know?
yeah, for sure.
So the thing with this one though, it's the director who did Shang-Chi, which is
Hmm.
great. I loved it. I don't know if Marvel and Disney realize how many people love it because I don't feel like they give Shang-Chi a lot of love.
Yeah.
So the fact that they gave the director this movie seems kind of odd. But he was supposed to do the Avengers, whatever,
I think
Kang
it's
Dynasty or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
And for reasons and stuff that doesn't happen. So I kind of wonder if this was like a favor. Be like, hey man, you did great work. You know, I don't know how far they were in the script process or what, but they're
Yeah.
like, let's give you Spidey and we're gonna kind of let you do your thing. On top of that, this is phase four, which was supposed to be experimental. So
Hmm.
I really feel like Marvel kind of stepped back off of this one. That's the only theory I got because it really, it's not that it doesn't feel like an MCU movie, but it stands out. It's its own thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
Tom
know.
Holland, hit us up. Shoot us an email at lostlegaciespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, fan, you know, friend of the show, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hit us up. Let us know what you think.
Lastly, on this movie,
Hmm.
what's without giving any spoilers, so we have to be very minimal about what we say. What are your thoughts on the villain of this movie, and what does that mean for this world?
Hmm. Well, it's it's interesting how they position this character um as the villain or antagonist,
Mhm.
you know, and then I think oh gosh, this is so hard to say without like revealing specific
This is
stuff,
hard.
but
Yeah.
I'll say this, it's like this is what characters were dealing with before they were, you know,
What they
before they
become
had a
known
guiding
for.
hand, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
before they had somebody else that was helping them along the way.
yeah.
Um, you know, we've seen, like the Marvel universe is so interesting in how it treats its superpowered people and its people with
Hmm.
powers. And I think the inclusion of damage control in both this and in Wonder Man, and how, it seems like their prerogative is to just find and acquire people with powers. They
Mm.
say it somewhere in the movie that it's like the reason why, it's called damage control is because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying
Hmm.
to find the people that can cause the most damage and you know, uh, put them within our department, something like
Hmm.
that. And it just feels like this is what Shield is without Fury.
Right.
This is when you don't have somebody who who sees people with powers as assets, as
Yeah.
potential allies. Like it's the human factor. Like these like departments like damage control are looking at these people like they're just the power set and it's just a damage level. Whereas somebody like Fury was looking at like that's a person who potentially could be dangerous, but how much better would it be if they were on our side?
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, so like having damage control, I think kind of like then in really like shows the rest of the villain as like, oh, okay, I understand completely why you're doing this.
Sure.
Might not agree with your methods, but also this character also has a very like kind of messy history with using their powers within the comics
That's
that
very
like
true.
I was actually kind of happy that they
Hmm.
aren't this like perfect
Hmm.
character, using their powers, one consensually,
Yeah.
but two also kind of like without regard for like others.
Right.
And yeah, so it is like okay, like yeah, I get it. We'll get more into it once like dad
It
watches it,
it
but I do have more to say about
I
them.
like that this wasn't an origin story for her. There's origin elements in there,
Hmm.
but I think it's very easy to just go into the next movie that actually features her as a lead or one of the leads, and you never have to see this. But
Hmm.
it's kind of just good. It's extra. So it's kind of like if you want to relate it to X-Men for some reason, it's like watching a Wolverine movies, but starting with Weapon X. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what it feels like. It's just like we don't need to see that,
Hmm.
but it's kind of cool to see it, you know?
Yeah.
So something like that. Um Sadie Sink killed it, you know.
Hmm.
She owned the movie. I not gonna lie, I started crying during that final confrontation. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I did not I did not expect that. Um, but the end of the Punisher was great. It was cool to see Frank Castle have some fun without without like breaking from the character, you know, like everything it's the same character, you know. I was kind of afraid like he was going to be watered down or something. And it was just
Yeah.
like, no, not really. It's just, you know, just the scenarios they put him in. Like, it's like, okay, all right, I like it.
Yeah.
And then the Hulk, they made the Hulk scary again for the
Yeah.
first time since probably,
Incredible Hulk.
I was going to say, since, what was the first movie? Who did that one?
Ang Lee?
Ang Lee. This is the
Wow.
first time since Ang Lee that the Hulk felt scary. No, Incredible Hulk. That was a pretty good one though
Oh,
too.
well, and there was like the whole thing in Age of Ultron where he gets like, they awaken Banner and that's where the Hulkbuster armor comes in and he's just like mindlessly destroying.
Oh, that's right.
So, okay, fine.
He's definitely had good moments,
We'll
but
give
it's
it
been
to
a
you since
while.
Age of Ultron. But also, how long ago was that? That's phase 2, man.
Age of Ultron. He was awesome in Ragnarok. You know, I
But he wasn't
like.
scary,
Yeah, he
and
wasn't
that
scary.
and
Yeah,
yeah, and that's how this feel. Also, I feel like he was larger than we've seen him before.
dude. That's what
Uh,
even what Peter says. He's like, I've never seen you this big before, and I was
yeah.
like, yes, yes. Neither have I.
Hmm.
This is
Hmm.
that's what I want Wolverine to feel like. I want him to be scary.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Um, Unfortunately, that's not the movie we're talking about today.
Like
I could keep talking about this movie for so long.
speaking of scary,
Speaking of scary,
what's scarier than pretentious
the
white people
missed
abroad
connections.
in Europe? Yeah,
Missed
yeah,
connections, that's what this movie
yeah.
is.
Is this a misconnection though? I don't think so.
Well, it's kind of left up to the audience, isn't it? Which I kind of like.
Well, sort of, yeah.
So we were talking about, I believe this was 1995's
Mm-hmm.
Richard Linklater's Indie Darling Before Sunrise,
Mm-hmm.
starring Ethan Hawke and how do you say this actress' name? Julie
Julie Delphi?
Delphi? Is that how you say it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, man, I loved it. This hit me right in the feels,
Mm-hmm.
but in a good way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I
Um,
agree.
I guess we keep forgetting to kind of, summarize or talk about like actual plot of these movies. So I'll just say real quick, the movie's about uh Jesse and Celine
Mm-hmm.
who meet on a train to Vienna and they just spend basically they have one night in Vienna. They spend the whole night just walking and talking and getting to know each other and
Mm-hmm.
possibly falling in love. And that's it. It's such a odd, unique little story. There's not really much as far as the plot goes. It's just two people
Yeah.
connecting, and then like halfway through it gets into like the will they won't they. Are they going to see each other again? Are they going to end up together at the end? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a very. I know other movies have tried to do this. They may just be trying to copy this one, but this movie, the directing was great, cinematography was great, writing was great, but like this movie rests entirely on the two actors,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because even if they're just good, the movie fails. Like that
Mm-hmm.
chemistry has to be, electrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you feel it, man. Like even in the awkward, quiet moments, like I think they really handled it very true and like realistically. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
nice, you know. So was this your first time watching it?
No, I've seen this one before.
Okay.
I
This
haven't I
is the
haven't
first in a trilogy. I don't know if Spider-Man shows up in this one. Uh,
we'll find
but
out.
this is the first in a trilogy. So
I mean, I was surprised, Far From Home, he's in Europe, so he could have
exactly,
there
yeah.
could have been a
Yeah.
crossover, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've seen this one before. This is the only one of the before trilogy that I've seen.
Mm.
Um, but it also, yeah, I don't know. It's such an interesting thing, like to imagine, like there was a time where this was it. It was just this movie, you know.
Hmm.
So
Just
it's
standalone.
yeah, just a standalone, completely original. Like so to just like I was trying to go with that in mind for this watch of just like
Hmm.
this is it, like this is the movie. Like it is I would say more than misconnections, it, they're star-crossed. Their paths totally could not, you know, they could have missed each other, by inches,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and
true.
but they didn't, and they're here and they burn bright, and there you go.
Well, that's what I'm kind of curious about from the behind the scenes perspective. I wasn't able to find too much, but did Richard Linklater know this was just one and done, or did he have some kind of plan? Because when does the second one come out? It's a good
Uh
time after, right?
it's either 2002 or 2004. I think it's 4.
Oh wow.
Um yeah, and like this movie didn't really make a lot of money
Hmm.
when it came out. So really it was like it was Ethan Hawke and Julie Delphi who were like, yeah, we would love to come back and do another one. We would love to see,
Mm.
what happened to these people.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
part three was 2013, so they came out. Each movie came out 9 years later.
Mm,
That's
okay.
interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I don't know if they did have like if Richard Linklater did plan to do
Hmm.
more, or not, because he did Boyhood, And that was what, like 12 years to make.
Yeah, something like
So
that.
he's has that in him, that bigger picture, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yeah, so I don't know, but as just for standalone as it is, uh, I thought it was good. I thought it was solid. When did you first see this movie? How long ago was it?
Ooh, it's been, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 years.
Okay, so not too bad.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Interesting. Because
Yeah.
I was kind of when I think of like 500 Days of Summer and how my view on those characters has changed so much over the what 20 years? It's like 20 years old at this point, I think.
Jeez, wow.
Um yeah, and I was kind of it's interesting. I wish I had seen this when I was younger because I knew
Mm,
people who loved this movie when I was in high school, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And I was like, damn, I wonder how I would feel about it then, and then like 10 years later, and then like now, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, because they are both these characters are in they're somewhere in their 20s. Uh, and I feel like there's a lot of, especially with Jesse, you can feel like the youth in like their viewpoints and the arguments they're bringing up and stuff like that,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So I kind of wondered how my thinking would be different if I had watched this younger. Um, but yeah, I love how conversational this was. I don't know how much of this was actually improv or not, because they do say there is a script it's written by Richard Linklater and Kim Krazan. I hope I'm saying that right. Who she was an
Hmm.
actress in Linklater films. Um,
Hmm.
but Ethan Hawke and Julie Delphi have both said how they had a big say in like the dialogue.
Yeah,
So I don't know what that means. I don't know if they actually wrote it out like down or if it was improv, because this felt like a very improv style, very naturalistic, the way these conversations
yeah,
feel.
yeah. I think I'm unsure. I do
Hmm.
know, I was reading the trivia and the notes, and I think they said that um there was a script, but both Hawk and Delphi collectively like came together and you know uh it's sort of like a controlled improv, where
Sure.
it's like, okay, like we have the basis of the conversation,
Mm.
so let's just naturally improvise, more and
Hmm.
kind of do that more. Um, because I do know that the Delphi and Hawk both said that like they were kind of disappointed that they didn't get like credit for their dialogue because they essentially
Mm.
came up with most of what's in the movie.
Wow.
Um,
And they do get writing credits on the sequels, so
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it was that. Like, I'm sure like the script was there, one, because you got to get it funded, you got to get people
Hmm.
excited, like, so they're there. But then, there is that conversation. There has to be that conversation in hand, or up front. I'm sorry,
Hmm.
where it's like, oh yeah, like this needs to feel real and natural.
Hmm.
I know there's like an antecedent somewhere in there where they were saying that Celine needs she needs a good reason to get off the train. And if she doesn't believe whatever Jesse says, like she's not going to get off the train.
Mm.
And so they talked about it for a bit, and that's where they came up with the time traveler bit.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
then Delphi was just like, "That would work on Celine.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's go with that." And I'm like, "Well, like, and that's so pivotal, to
Hmm.
the movie, and and yeah, like so yeah, I think that's just crazy. If that wasn't there, then the movie wouldn't work. We wouldn't have the movie.
Hmm. Yeah. Man. I I like how there are parts. I'm trying to put it into words. Words. Like, how do I explain it? I I like how these characters feel very I don't know, maybe it is because the improv, they just feel very real, you know, and Jesse definitely feels like a contradiction almost, you know. I think it's
Hmm.
very interesting how he's this dreamer, you know, he has these big ideas, these grand ideas, and I love his little theories of him talking about like how we're just all made of like fragments of souls. None of us are complete, you know, and it's all very kind of, you know, surface level, you know. I think even he tries not to get too deep into it. It's just those kind of like those conversations where they start going a little deeper and we're like, okay, and we keep going. You know,
Yeah.
it like he's full of those. But then at the same time, when he's faced with something extraordinary, he turns his back on it.
Hmm.
And I don't know if that's in the script or if that's kind of was a Ethan Hawke thing, but like when they're talking to the palm reader and he just kind of basically saying it's a scam, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I love that. I know the audience and Celine, we know the stigma of palm readers, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
We know there's a good chance it's a scam, but she pays anyway. She knows what she's getting herself into,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I love her little thing about Stardust. You know, me and Stardust. I was like, I love that, you know. To me, it's like it doesn't matter if it's real or not. It doesn't matter if it was a scam or not. I knew what I was getting myself into, and I
Hmm.
love the sentiment, you know, and that's all that matters. Jesse can't see that. And then the
Yeah.
same thing happens with the poem where the guy writes the poem right there on the river. And he's like, well, you know, he had probably already pre-written it and he just slips the word in. And I'm
Hmm.
like, or this guy just came up with this beautiful poem right in front of you guys, specifically for you, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't really matter if he did or did it. Like, you know, were you really paying him because you were really looking forward to see what this poem was? You know,
Yeah.
it's just like, no, it's like, so all these little things like that are keeping him from that joy, from that magic that he's dreaming of.
Hmm.
And then the scene that really sold it for me is where they have like the belly dancer and they're watching.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And if you see Jesse's body language, he's there, he's just kind of like dancing, he just sees no one else's, so he stops. But like where Celine and the crowd are watching the dancer, he's just kind of like looking around and he's like, all right, should I pay her? Like he's not paying attention to this moment, this beautiful moment where someone is dancing and beautiful music. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like it's this air of like, I don't get it, let's move on. You know, and it's like,
Hmm.
dude, it's right there, life in your face. You know, just grab it.
Yeah.
And it's like his head is getting in the way of his heart.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I love him for that. You know, it pisses me off, but I love that as a character trait, you know, for
Yeah.
this movie. And I'm like, wow. But then, and at the end, he's the one reciting poetry to her at the end at the statue, you know, and it's just
Hmm.
like, and he is the romantic. You know, I love one of my favorite scenes is where they're in the cafe and they're talking on the phone to each other,
Oh.
you know, and she's
Oh.
describing him as an adolescent. I'm like, this scene, I'm like, oh my God, out of a movie that's nothing but talking, this like really stood out, you know, like,
Hmm.
wow, that was something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like it is, yeah. It's it's almost frustrating because you're just like, this dude is so young. You know,
Yeah.
he's and of course,
Mm-hmm.
recently heartbroken,
Mm-hmm.
slightly affluent, white boy in his early 20s, so you're like, okay, of course.
Horrible goatee. I just wanted to shave the guy.
God,
Like,
oh God. But you know what? Ethan Hawke makes it work. He's
yeah, I
he's
mean,
got the personality and it's the eyes. He has kind eyes, and I'm like, that's what
yeah,
makes it work. That's why I trust you.
yeah.
Um,
It's like he feels a bit of a tool, but like deep down, like you do see like he's a good person, you know. He's just
yeah,
young. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, there's obviously this boyishness to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is still like a kid, you know, which is an interesting like contrast to Celine, who uh feels a little bit more mature, you know,
Of
or just
course, she's French. Yeah.
has oh of course, yeah. Just has a different like worldview, you know, than him. A little more cynical, you know, but
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like I either like had Jesse's same mindset,
Mm,
you know, when I was younger. Um, which I think why, yeah, it is frustrating where it's just like, dude, like he feels like the type of person that says, you know, these big grand things or waiting, like he's waiting to like for the real truth of the
hmm
universe to come to him. Uh, but it's all right there. You know, he needs
hmm
it to be a specific way for him to accept it when
Yeah.
that's not how these things are ever presented, you
hmm
know? Um, yeah, you said it perfectly. Like life is happening in front of you and you're missing it because you
hmm
don't it's not what you expect it to be. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the thing, when you're talking about Celine and how you said she was what did you say she was?
French.
Um would you call her French? Uh
Well, I mean,
uh
she's slightly more mature than Jesse is.
yeah, I think I feel that for sure. But like
Hmm.
I think passionate, that's what I'm thinking of. Because even when she's
Mm,
talking about her parents and like the struggles and the fights they had with not with each other, but like with the world around them,
yeah, yeah.
you could tell that she cares. She gives a damn about the world she's in.
Hmm.
I'm not sure about Jesse though.
I don't think he does. I don't think he
Right?
cares.
Especially the way that conversation goes. And she even mentions she's like 300 kilometers or whatever. That way there's a war, and it seems like nobody cares. And he's just kind of like, you know?
Yeah.
And because he's the guy who's on the train, that's how he views life. He's just sitting on the train, watching it pass by. Whereas I
Hmm.
feel like she's the one living it.
Hmm.
And it's just like, Jesse, get off the damn train. Just get off the train, man.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, she could do better. But it was this
I mean,
magical night.
that's true. Yeah.
And also the leather jacket. I mean, the goatee plus the leather jacket. I'm like, now here's the
Screams
thing.
American, you know?
I don't know. It screams of young guy trying to be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what the sound design on this movie was because all of it is shot on location.
Hmm.
So I don't I could it didn't really seem like there was a lot of ADR. Maybe there was, but like in almost every single scene, that leather jacket is making noise. So I don't know if that was natural or some poor audio technician somewhere. One of the where is that Foley, right? One of the
Foley,
Foley
yeah, a
artists,
Foley artist.
is making squeaks for that jacket. But if that's the case, then it's
Held the
there
job.
purposefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if not, you just would. It's just a quiet jacket. You don't notice it. But to me, that's part of it. It kind of takes you out of some of the moments of like even like the beautiful scene where they're having the picnic towards the end, and like every
Hmm.
time he moves, you hear the little squeak. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, dude. It's like yeah, it's like young guy trying to be cool. We've all been there, brother. But uh I've never had a leather jacket though. I'll say that.
Yeah, me
I
either.
had that green like army jacket. I wore it so much it like fell apart.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
took it to Rainey, who worked in the costume department in her theater, and she couldn't fix it.
Oh,
That's how worn down
wow.
it was. She's like,
Dang.
man, it's worn out right on the seams. I can't do it. I was like, all right. um
Oh man.
yeah, but so it's like, yeah, I think all those things are purposely there, you
Hmm.
know. Especially knowing the guy Ethan Hawke is now and who he's become and like
Hmm.
how in love he is with poetry and how he's such an artistic and creative dude. Like it's kind of cool to see this younger version also talking about poetry and stuff. So
Yeah.
it kind of leaves me at this point where it's just like, oh man, this is Ethan Hawke like out of time. Like I don't know how much is actually him and how much is the character. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. Was this the movie that turned him on to poetry in general? Like it could be. I don't know.
Yeah, could
But
be.
yeah, man, that was a good movie. Richard Linklater, he's from Texas,
Yeah.
I know he lives in Texas.
He's from Texas.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, in the trivia notes, it was saying that like so yeah, like he came up with the movie, uh had Kim come on board because he said that his movies were very like male focused. So he
Hmm.
wanted an equal representation, of a woman, to counterbalance all of that. And he truly did say he was just like, if I couldn't get the money for it, I was just gonna film it in San Antonio.
Hmm.
But then he went to
Interesting.
he went to I forget what they said, but like when Dazed and Confused was going out and touring, like he went abroad and he loved Vienna. He loved being there,
Mm-hmm.
and found out they're like, oh, they give like incentives for for making movies here. So then they filmed it there, and I'm like, this movie would
Vienna,
be incredibly different if it was in San
the
Antonio.
rich man's Riverwalk.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, but they don't have an Alamo, so you know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah. Like I kind of like I want to know what that would look like. What would like the San Antonio version of, before
What would they have
sunrise?
done in the 90s just walking in circles? Like, I don't. There's no Rainforest Cafe back then.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Uh
The mall, they would spend the whole time in the mall.
Probably. I mean, well, if you think, well, oh, that's a good point because like the Riverwalk itself was pretty developed back then, but it really got more developed like as we were growing up, and
Hmm.
like the Pearl existed, but and you could technically walk to it, but there was nothing there.
There was a brewery. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, but it's not what it is now.
And
It's
that was
all
before breweries were cool, you know?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Wow.
you had those like bad motels that were like just across the street
They
from
would have for sure
there.
been at the Alamo at some point because that's
Oh
like the
yeah.
major tourist attraction, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe they go to the little haunted hotels.
maybe. Yeah,
Wow, throwing
I
some
could see them.
ghosts.
Yeah, I could see them chilling in like the Minger Hotel,
Yeah.
or something. But that is such an interesting thing because like when you think like it's interesting thinking about this, as locals,
Hmm.
from San Antonio. It's like, yeah, where would you go? Would you just stay there? Like that's a very like
Yeah.
centralized area, and so much of this movie was about, you know,
Exploring, just walking
the
around.
yeah, exploring, walking around. It starts on
Well,
a train.
I mean, a lot of it though was like it wasn't really it didn't really matter where they were when they were having these conversations, you
Sure,
know?
sure.
So it could have changed, you know, the museums were still around back then, you know.
Hmm.
Could have done Brackenridge Park, you know.
Yeah.
Um did they ever have like the little boats in Brackenridge Park? Could you get in the water back then?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I have to ask around. They had the zoo back then still.
Oh, they would have gotten on the little train that goes around
Oh, the little
Brackenridge
train,
Park.
go through the little tunnel. They could have got robbed on the train.
Yeah, yeah, they could
Yeah.
have got robbed.
Um, yeah, I think it's just kind of just I think that's the case of finding the locations. Like, I don't know how they wrote the script, but I imagine you would just write the script and worry about the locations later.
I mean, that
Because,
yeah, that kind of
you
feels
know,
like it,
yeah, any of those scenes could have been anywhere, you know.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed that they didn't go see that play. I wanted to see that guy play the cow.
I was too. He seemed so excited that he was the cow. It was just like,
Yeah.
this sounds weird. I'm
You
in.
see, that's what I would have done, and then we spend like 2, 3 hours just not talking to each other because we're watching this cow. You know, um, that's one thing. Like the chemistry between these two was really good, but also it hinges on them being not as introverted as most people are today, myself included,
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
but
yeah.
also like good conversationalist. Like I
Yeah.
love that scene where like okay, finally she gets off. She's in Vienna with him, and it's right before they meet the two guys on the bridge, and they're not talking. They're like, well, this is kind of awkward. She's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
little
like, but that's okay.
awkward.
That's okay. That's where it would have stopped for me. Like, so,
You
what's your
new in
favorite
town?
food? Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. There is this interesting like adventurous spirit, in the in this movie. And I think that's just I think that's the best way to start any kind of relationship, just
yeah,
yeah, just ask the questions,
yeah.
like, you if you feel the vibe, you're obviously like both, digging each other, like just talk to each other, listen to each other, you know?
And I mentioned it before, but I love that moment where Jesse talks about the soul. He's like,
Yeah.
there's only so many of us, but then it got to millions. Now we're billions of people. Where did those souls come from? Or are we just
Hmm.
like sharing it? Are we just fragments of souls now? We're just fragments of people. And I was kind of thinking, I was sitting there watching, and I'm like, that's a pretty good take. But also in mind that this movie is very much a product of the 90s
Hmm.
because one, they're both there reading books,
Yeah.
not on their phones.
Yeah, yeah.
Two, they don't have cell phones. Three, there is no social media because that's how the movie would have ended. It's like, oh yeah, I'll follow you on Instagram,
Hmm.
and that's it. They would have never, got together 6 months later. They're just like, I'll follow. We'll keep in touch. Kind of like what they said. What usually happens, we exchange emails or addresses, and we send a letter once or twice, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
That's what it would have been. Like, okay, I'll follow you, and then you send the message. Oh, hey, yeah, and then maybe one more message later in the week, and then it just kind of stops. It just
Yeah.
fizzles out. It
Yeah.
just fades away like those pictures she was looking at on the pole. People just fading into the background. That's where
Hmm.
we're at now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Not to be a downer or anything.
Jeez. I mean, like, but it is true, and yeah, this movie doesn't get made today, one because like the premise isn't that exciting. Um,
Yeah, very, very, very true.
yeah, like this definitely does. I think this is interesting because like this feels like Linklater trying to like harken back to like Godard and like the French New Wave, like just having this is a very slow slice of life movie. It's Jesse's window pitch for a TV show that, is just it's life. It's life with all the boring bits,
And I
you
really like
know?
that pitch too.
Yeah, I did too, and I was just like, yeah, that could be interesting. And then Celine's just the one who's just like, yeah, it's all the boring stuff. That's what you want to see. It's like,
there's
yeah, kinda. I kinda do.
there's that movie. I never saw it,
Hmm.
but it's directed by Chris Evans
Okay.
called Before We Go. And it's him and I think
Hmm.
Alice Eve, right? They're kind of just walking around New York
Oh yeah.
for a full night. Um, Never really heard anything about it, but like if you're gonna do this, it has to be something like low budget. You know, I
Yeah.
I like that concept, but ooh, ooh, terrible
What?
reviews.
Oh.
I'm not one to really, put any credit behind Rotten Tomatoes, but it has a 28% Rotten
Wow.
Tomatoes.
Dang.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
you know.
what's that movie that just came out now about the only single people can have sex one night a year?
Oh gosh.
One night only.
Yeah, one night only.
Now that's not the same as this, but it does have like, hey, we've only got one night to tell this story.
Hmm.
Um, but this kind of seems like this is how you would have to do it. Like you have to have fun. You have to have like little antics or set pieces. All I see
Hmm.
of the trailers they're on bikes, someone hits a pole or something, you know. I'm just like
Yeah.
you have more characters coming in and out, but I am interested in watching that just because I am fascinated by those movies that like, okay, limited, you know, we're limited here. One night only is the
Yeah.
movie title. Was the Bruce Willis one, 13 blocks, 14 blocks,
Oh, 16 blocks.
16 blocks, slightly different,
Slightly
but
different.
still, your whole movie takes place within these 16 blocks.
I mean, if you think about it, what is 16 blocks but, two men traveling New York together, not being able to leave each other's side.
Like,
I think that's beautiful.
I think it's beautiful, just like Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
people were kind of saying that, like, the theory was that 16 blocks was originally like a Die Hard script.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I've heard that
I
too.
don't know. I've never seen it, so
Yeah. It's good. It definitely I could see it, but I could also see like why you wouldn't make it a Die Hard, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah.
Hmm.
Um, what's I gonna say? Yeah, yeah. One night only. Interesting. Also, just real weird. you know.
I
You
want to
know,
know about this world. It's
like
kind of
people.
like the Purge. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, it's the
I got
sex
to know the
purge. You
rules. I
know,
got to know how we got here.
single
Like,
people can't have sex
what,
at
dude? What if it's
all.
the same universe?
That's what I'm thinking. You
What if the
know.
Purge is like October 13th, and
Hmm.
then One Night Only is like 6 months later?
Oh
I don't
well,
know what
yeah.
that is.
I was gonna say it's like March. It's springtime. You
Yeah,
know.
springtime. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what you do on your off season. Yeah,
Because that also fits the very like fascist aesthetic of this
yeah,
like renewal, rejuvenation. It's the time nature's coming back from the cold death, and you're like, yeah, 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 yeah. This is still it's still weird.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, man.
man.
I don't know. I am intrigued, but it's also the thing that like I don't. I also don't want to normalize something like this, because
Mm.
this is like that feels like a couple of steps away from something that will, could be implemented in this current administration, I'm just
That's a good
like,
point.
yeah, just like only
Yeah.
one night. You only have one night, no exceptions. Some people are saying, hey, maybe it's better. I don't know. I'm like, yeah.
Man, there was another movie I was gonna bring up.
Was it like romance? Another romance movie? Another single location romance?
Possibly. Was it a Linklater movie? No. I don't know.
School of Rock, maybe?
Right. Well, no, it had something to do with like just being like, hey, we got one night,
Mm.
blah blah blah. You know, it
Hmm.
was like in that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Technically the Purge fits under that description, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's just the Purge, but we're just talking the whole night. You know? Yeah, man. So
Oh, it's the purge. The conceit is that you have to be off your phone and you have to go talk to people.
oh wow.
There you
We shut
go.
down the Purge. Remember the end of Ready Player One? Where
Vaguely.
Percival, like, he basically owns it all and he's like, okay, it's gonna be free for everyone, but we shut it down on Sundays.
Is that how that movie ends?
Yeah, he's like, because we need at least one day a week where we have to interact with each other. But then when the
Oh,
second book starts, everyone hates the dude because they're like, Sunday's my only day off. I can't get into the whatever onto the grid or whatever it's called. I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, that would happen. I also stay away from that author now. I'm just like, nah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Jeez. Also wild movie. Also wild book.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed the book a lot more than the movie. Movie was
Hmm.
all right, but not not anymore. I'm trying not to talk shit, okay? But the
Well,
more you
yeah.
learn about the author, just the less I like this dude. And when you realize when you experience Ready Player One with the mindset of nerds trying to gatekeep cool geek culture,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
changes the entire experience of Ready Player One,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
you
for
know?
sure.
So it's like the author thinks he's Percival, but he's really Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could put that on a t-shirt, you could print it. I don't care. That pisses me off. I think he's from Austin as well.
You heard it here first. Yeah, he does. He
Richard
has a
Linklater, he is not.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Who else can I talk trash about, Sam?
I got a list. I got a list
Now
right
I'm all
here.
fired up. Look out, guys.
Oh gosh.
Matt's gonna say something rude.
At least, hey, as long as it's just rude, like that's, I think that's fine. Um, yeah.
Pardon my language, audience, but there's just some people just tick me off.
Pardon my, pardon my language, but some people are just real buttheads.
I do like butthead's like my favorite word. It's like it's my favorite. And I've been thinking about it more and more because it's like it's such a old school playground insult that
Hmm.
nobody uses anymore. It's like anyone could call you any name or drop any amount of F bombs, and it's like, okay, whatever. But to call someone a butthead, it's like my theory is like they're not calling me a butthead. They're calling
Hmm.
like 5-year-old me a butthead. And that hurts. You're like, whoa, 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 hang on.
Well, it's like it's such a childish insult,
Yeah.
but like, but I feel like that's the point because it's like I'm not going to like I don't respect you enough to respect your age. So I'm not going to
Uh-huh.
dignify you with an adult type of insult. I'm
Yeah.
just going to call you what a 5-year-old would call you. And a 5-year-old is going to call you a butthead. You're a
Yeah.
butthead.
It's
Yeah.
it's a dagger that slips through your
Time.
shields and through time, and it bypasses your shields and your armor that you have grown to wear over your decades of life. It just
Hmm.
goes right through it, and it hits the 5-year-old kid in you, the innocent 5-year-old kid. And it's like, oh God,
So what you're
dead
saying
on
is,
arrival.
so what you're saying is that when you call an adult a butthead, it's like a knife that goes through time to stab their 5-year-old self dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Put it on a
Essentially,
t-shirt. There you
the
go.
the age when you're still vulnerable and learning about the world and you have such a sense of wonder, yeah,
Hmm.
that's who we're stabbing.
Oh
Yep.
man,
That's why butthead is, I think, personally, the greatest insult.
the greatest
It's not,
insult of all
it's
time.
not used
Wow.
enough. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? Yeah, we got to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the anti-scene of the food critic in Ratatouille, where the food takes him back to his mother's kitchen. It's like the negative version. It's like,
It's that, but it's the first time he's been bullied on the playground,
yeah,
pushed in the ground, you kicked around a little bit.
uh-huh.
You're a butthead.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Perfect.
Oh
Absolutely
man.
perfect.
You see, we're able to go off on tangents like this just because I feel like we got nothing else to talk about in this movie. It was just there was nothing bad about it. It was all good. I loved it.
Hmm.
I'm very curious what the sequel is, especially since knowing that it came out 9 years later. I doubt that it's them meeting up in 6 months. So I'm kind of curious as to how that goes.
That's true.
Are
Yeah.
they already a couple when we meet them again? Or have they not seen each other?
Hmm. Okay.
We're
This
gonna
is
find out if they meet up or not.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's always been my impression that they didn't meet up.
I don't know.
I don't
Well,
like and I don't know anything about the sequels, so so this is
yeah,
me just speculating that I don't think they met up because that feels more in line
S-
with what one with reality,
yeah,
but also I feel like that kind of lines up with who these people are in a way.
sure.
It's like Jesse is a big romantic, but I don't know. There's just something about it where it's just like I read that ending is like bittersweet because it's like this is young love, and that is
Yeah.
the very thing that they're trying to avoid. They're two young people trying
Uh-huh.
to be adults in this world and in this moment and with all of these, youthful feelings,
Hmm.
and then they succumb to their
Ooh.
feelings.
Yeah.
They already said goodbye the night before, so they didn't have to go through the pain of doing it, at the train station. But they still had to say goodbye, and it's
Yeah.
still hard. And yeah, that's why they're saying like, no, I take back everything I said. I want to see you again. I want to do that. And
Hmm.
she agrees. And so you're like, okay, and it just feels so youthful and it feels so innocent, and it is the perfect cap on this whole thing that's like, this is love. This is what love is. It in a
Right.
way, it almost doesn't matter if they see each other again or not.
Hmm.
We want them to, but it doesn't matter if they do or not. Like yeah, that's the story of the movie,
Yeah.
you know?
And I mean, and so the sequel, they would have to confront that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why didn't you show up? Or did neither of them show up?
Yeah, it's
How
like,
do
is
you
it a
get
thing
through
of
that?
like they meet each other and then it's like a, oh, it's you. Oh,
Yeah.
and then the flood of memories come back and all that, and then is one of them, did one of them actually go?
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
asking the other, and then the other is like, well, I waited for you, like,
Right.
are they both lying, about like being
So
there? Who knows?
when this came out, Richard Linklater was 35.
Hmm.
Ethan Hawke was 25.
Oh my gosh.
And Julie Delphi is a magical fairy who has no age. Um,
Obviously. She's French, yeah.
mhm. But so the sequel, Ethan Hawke, they would both be in their 30s, which
Okay.
is closer to us. So that's
Hmm.
kind of interesting.
Hmm.
I'm kind of interested to see how they've both grown in that time. Um, and then so I'm guessing in their 40s for the third one. Uh, when I did read that when the movie came out, both actors and directors said they think they met up.
Mm.
That was their take. Like they
Okay.
did meet each other. But
Okay.
I don't know, that was before they made the sequel. So
Yeah.
who knows? What I would do though
Oh gosh.
is like a sliding doors thing. We would see a movie that's two stories. One is what happens when they did meet up,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is what happens when they didn't. And see
Mm.
how their lives diverge and come back,
Mm.
become
That
more
can't
coherent and less.
that can't be the first movie that ever did that,
What do you mean?
right?
Oh, sliding doors?
Yeah.
I don't. I doubt it.
It
Like
can't be. Like, it's just fat, like, I feel like that movie has
that's on my list,
has
by the way, because I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either, but I feel like just in like this last year I keep hearing that movie being referenced in like odd places, and I'm like, what, like, I is that movie based off of a French movie? Because I feel like it is. Because that feels like the exact type of thing that, like, it made a little bit of money, it did a little bit of business in England, in that
Hmm.
market, and then Hollywood was like, that's perfect, let's remake it with Gwyneth Paltrow, with the
Less
biggest star
sliding
we have.
doors.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Well, and I mean, not according to Wikipedia. It doesn't say if it's based on anything.
okay,
Um,
yeah, just that, like, that's what it feels like to me. You know,
was that the first multiverse film we got? We
that's a
wouldn't get the Marvel MCU without sliding doors.
Gwyneth Paltrow is in Sliding Doors, which is in the first multiverse movie, and she's in Iron Man in 2008. If you tie
Hmm.
those things together, then it means you need to subscribe to the Patreon to find out what that means.
Oh
Yeah.
no, now I have to go make the Patreon. I gotta
Yeah,
go
go, Matt,
bring it
go.
back.
Bring it back up, boot it up.
During/after sunrise. That's my version where there's two of them.
Oh,
So in
oh.
one of them, they do meet up,
Mm-hmm.
but they end up living that life they said they didn't want to, where they kind of grow tired of each other and they split up.
Mm.
And then the other one,
Well, I mean, the other one is where they don't meet again.
they don't meet until the end of the movie.
Oh, God.
But for some reason, because we're gonna put it, it's gonna be artsy. They meet each other from the opposite timelines.
What?
Don't question it. It's beautiful.
Okay, sure.
It's art.
Sure. I
Less
mean,
sliding doors.
I mean, honestly, truly, there is a Japanese animated movie that literally has the meet cute. Like the entire movie is leading up to the meet cute.
Oh wow,
And it's brilliant. It's incredible. I'll have to put it on the list because
that's
like
kind of cool. Yeah.
it's a little weird. It's a little timey wimey, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Wow, I
So
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a good one. Definitely different from everything we've seen. Actually, I got similar vibes from watching Kiki's Delivery Service. The whole time, I'm
Yeah.
kind of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, when are they gonna get into a fight? You know,
Yeah.
someone's gonna
Yeah.
say something. I kept expecting something to happen, and I think that's just because we're trained to consume stories in whatever medium that is. We're trained in a certain way to consume those stories and to expect, like, even if this isn't a movie where there's going to be a villain, but like, what's
Hmm.
the antagonist? It's kind of just time, really. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Truly.
I was just waiting, like, oh, something's gonna happen.
There was like a shot where Jesse and Celine are walking like down the street. Oh, it's after the belly dancer.
Oh yes,
And
yes,
they're walking down the street and the shot lingers on these like two guys that are like
yeah,
sitting on a curb smoking, and they're checking out Celine, and then they
yeah.
like keep looking back at each other and talking, and then
Are
like
they? I
look.
couldn't tell.
I mean,
It could have been Jesse.
it could have been Jesse, but like in my head, it was just like, are these guys ruffians? And then they like come, Jesse and
Hoodlums.
Celine come down the street, and I'm like, are they gonna get mugged? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like what's gonna happen? It's like,
yeah,
and then no, like that doesn't happen, and you're like, okay, well that's good.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know where the other two movies take place. So I don't know if
I do know where the second one takes place.
okay, don't tell me.
Okay,
Like I hope they're in the same vein of this one of like it's just one night and they're kind of just talking.
I think
Like
it is.
I don't want it to just be like, oh, okay, now we're in their lives and we're seeing the day to day. I mean, it could work, but I kind of like there's something novel about this.
Yeah.
I speak of novels. I remember what I was going to bring up.
Okay.
Um, I don't like to promote this movie that much because of the director is very controversial.
Okay.
Um, but one of my favorite movies is Midnight in Paris, which is kind of
Mm,
a more magical version of something like this. Like
yeah.
it's and,
Yeah.
and it's not so much that like it's all in one night. It's very kind of a I don't know, maybe magical realism or something because like it's never really explained, but that's kind of the point. We don't know if Owen Wilson's actually time traveling or not, but
Hmm.
he's going through these different eras of Paris and he's meeting like Ernest Hemingway and I forget some of the other ones, but it's like this cool little story that's just magical enough that like, oh, I want more, you know.
Hmm.
And I really like Owen Wilson in this role. It's that typical that role that director likes to write. But
Hmm.
it works being Owen Wilson because I like Owen Wilson. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's a solid one to kind of throw into the same bunch, I feel like, as those other movies we were bringing up. So
Yeah. 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 I
yeah.
can see that for sure.
A movie that like where the locale is um it's not really important for the script, but it's
Hmm.
such a big part of this film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like same thing with like in Bruges. Like the town is so crucial for like just the way everything is set up. They could have done that in other locations as well,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
yeah, like something like that in San Antonio. Wow.
Write it.
Right? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. That's where I'll do my sliding doors movie. Oh, but we don't have subways. Damn it.
Oh, dang. Yeah. I'll have to use the buses.
will use the bread, the Jesus bread that we get at Christmas, the one where there's a little hidden Jesus in it. And in one world, they
Do we
get the
wait? You
Jesus.
don't get that at Christmas?
No, no, it's like right after. It's like a New Year's thing, right? It's like so many days after the New Year.
Oh,
Is it
oh,
for Three Kings
interesting.
Day?
Yeah. For
Yeah, so
Three Kings Day.
and whoever so listeners, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, neither do I. But it's like colorful bread, and baked inside this bread is this little like Jesus figure, like a little
Hmm.
figurine. You cut up the bread and everyone takes a piece. Whoever gets the Jesus has to host next year's party.
Oh, they have to
So,
host next year. I thought it was just they
yeah.
bring the bread next year.
Oh, I always thought they had to host. You know
Oh,
what?
oh,
We're just
geez.
winging it at this point, Sam. It could be both.
Well, it's crazy
Um,
because I know that sometimes they put multiple of the little baby Jesus in the
oh
bread.
god, dueling parties. Um, I had always heard it was hosting. I could be wrong. I've only been to like one of these parties before.
Yeah, same,
Uh,
same.
but yeah. So in one, they get the little baby Jesus, and the other one they don't. That's the sliding doors effect.
I love. Yeah. Okay, I love it. Yeah,
Call it breaking bread.
I'm in. And set
Sold.
it in San Antonio. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could direct it. I want to star in it because I'm an actor and I do have an ego.
Oh, of course, of course.
Um, hmm. Now I'm thinking about who's going to co-star. I don't know. Let's roll for next week's movie.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. We're still on the pod.
I know we're still recording. You got your list up?
Yeah, I got it.
12.
12.
Ega 2.
Ooh. Right. As far as I know, there's no sequel to Ego. Um,
Yet.
yet. Oh. Okay, this is interesting. This is a movie that I've been wanting to look at for years and was one of the first movies that I put on the list. And when we were
Hmm.
talking about like, oh yeah, like we want to watch like really crazy, like really like far out there kind of interesting stuff, this is the exact movie that I was like, yeah,
Whoa.
I want to know about this movie, and I want Matt's opinion.
Okay.
So I haven't seen this before, but it is 2021's Strawberry Mansion. So I'm
Oh,
not, yeah,
this is on my list.
yeah. I figured it would be because I feel like it's a movie that we've like seen on like the same list that we're passing around to each other.
Hmm.
Talked about as like very weird, like offbeat kind of sci-fi
Hmm.
fantasy, head trippy. So yeah, I was like, yeah, no, 100%, like, yeah, this was like the first movie I put on the list.
Not gonna lie. I'm nervous because this looks trippy as hell.
It does,
Right? I'm probably not gonna watch this one at midnight, but yeah, it looks really trippy.
but like it looks trippy in like a way that like I feel is a little bit more akin to what was the movie that we just Molly and Max in the Future. Like
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
like like not the same sort of like visual style, but just
Yeah.
like offbeat in that way.
Sure,
Like it's
sure.
gonna be its own brand of weird.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um so yeah, but yeah. So that's the movie for
Nice.
next week. Strawberry Mansion.
Strawberry Mansions
Yeah,
forever.
exactly.
Cool. Well, everyone, let us know what you thought about Before Sunrise. Hit us up at our email, lostlegacies podcast at gmail.com. Also,
Mhm.
hashtag Lost Legacies, wherever hashtags live. Um, yeah. Like, subscribe, tickle that notification button so you'll
Mm,
see when we get new.
don't like that. No,
Just, just flick it and you'll know when we get a new episode.
not
Um,
better.
Until next time, we got to end this episode, all right? We're going off the rails here. Look out, guys. We'll go crazy.
Oh my god.
um, thank you for joining us. Until next time, get lost.
Get lost.